Water, man.
Oh,
Yo, yo.
yo. How's everybody doing today?
What's going on?
Man,
Hey,
chilling.
fellas.
What's up? Hey, guys, welcome for tuning in for another episode of Let Loose Dog Talk. Man, we got our distinguished guest, Mr. Tony Clay, in the building. Ready to do this?
Hey,
Hey, sorry we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but you already know we in here being innovative and doing our thing. Mr.
definitely.
Garble, he over here, he going all out of his way doing the most. He on the road. He still got an hour before he get home before we get into this. So
That's true.
yeah, but as a group, we all do this together as a unit. So he's passing the torch. So I'm gonna handle everything with Mr. Tony Clay. Gabe, you want to say what's up to the people, my boy?
What's going on? Happy Wednesday.
Yeah,
Tony.
Wild Out Wednesday.
Nice to meet you, man. Dennis, still holding it down.
Right,
On the way home.
that's a true trooper right there. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but hey, man, we all got a lot going on. But we just want to get into this. Tony, if you want to introduce yourself, let everybody know a little bit about your background, when you started, what dogs you, because you and your dad breeds dogs too, right? You used to. You had Rotties, right?
So in it, man, like my dad
But
have Rottweilers.
yeah,
You know, I thought he was the big world. You know what I mean? Like up until probably about 14 years old, I thought that's really what he did. But really, he just had that he needed kept a couple nights.
Tony, can you grab your phone for me because it's going in and out?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
All right, I'm just gonna have to hold it, man. I don't got my phone holder. But yeah, that's kind of where the love for it started, man. Just as a kid.
Can you repeat all that for us?
So what I was saying was, as I always thought my dad was like the biggest Rottie breeder in the world, up until like my teenage years. But really it just, he had businesses, he had properties, he wanted to protect us, and so he kept a couple Rotties around the property, you know what I mean? But for me, I think that's really where it started at, like where my love for dogs started.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember when I had to do a transfer for you. I think I had to take a Rottie for you to give to your dad.
No, it was a Corso. It was a Corso. If I remember correctly, it wasn't the best transfer. The dog
No. I got a Rottie. It was some lady I picked it up from. No, I picked the Rottie from you and took it to a lady.
Yes.
And it was from your dad, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, so he had Corso. So when I was back in the 80s, 86, 87, when I was a kid, man, he had two rots named Vice and Keisha.
Okay.
And, life goes on, and he kind of got out of the dogs, just started living, and then I started doing dogs. And for a long time, he lightweight used to clown me. You know what I mean? Like, I got the only dog, I got the only son in the world that want to pick up shit for a living, and that kind of stuff. And he used to give me a hard time. But what happened was when I came back from California, I picked up a little bit of traction, and things were kind of starting to do a little something, and he started noticing. And I'll never forget, I actually made a post on my page one time. I had got some shirts made, and I took my dad down the shirt, and he put the shirt on, and I took a picture and posted it on my page. And it really wasn't nothing to him, but to me, it was a big deal.
Well, what was on the front of this shirt? Like, what did the shirt say?
It was just an NSK shirt, man. It just said NSK. I have a couple, and it was kind of a chic, not the best shirt. I don't know, but it wasn't the best shirt, But it was the first shirt that I'd ever had made for my kennel.
Yeah.
And to have my dad have one, and repping it and being proud about it and not giving me the hard time that he used to give me about him, is a big deal, man.
It would have been cool if you had something on the back with a dude shoveling shit.
I should have made one just for him. Just
Hey,
to
you should
sit
do
there
that.
and-
Hey, you know what you should do? That would be a great Christmas idea. Just go and
Yeah,
get one little
I did.
shit,
I should have. I
shit
definitely
shoveler.
But I mean, in a roundabout way, man, we all shit shovelers. They just don't
You
see that
right?
side of it.
Yeah, facts,
You know
right?
what I mean? They
Yeah.
just don't
So
see that side.
when you got into your dog, so you say you just kind of came into your own thing and just finding your dog. When did you get into these dogs, like for yourself? And then
So really, man, it was kind of accidental, man. Back when I first started,
good
like it was
dog.
like my sophomore year of high school. The dog pound, they used to sell you the dog back then. They used to sell you the dog for $40, but they wouldn't neuter the dog.
Yeah.
So my mom had went down to the pound and she was getting this Yorkshire Terrier, and so I just happened to ride down to the pound with her, man. I rode down there with her, and I ended up getting a Rottweiler. His name was Rex. On paper, I really didn't have any idea about breeding or really a want or a need to breed, to be quite honest with you. What ends up happening is I end up getting another female or another Rottie named Roka. And one day I come home from school and my dogs were tied together. I'm probably 16, 15, 16, something like that. And I had no idea. I'm like, damn, man, I got to take them to the vet. What's going on? You know,
You didn't know
what's
nothing about the
going on?
birds and the bees, huh?
Yeah, I
Oh
had no idea,
man.
man. And so I called my dad. I'm like, Dad, you're not going to believe this, man. Two dogs are in the backyard and they're stuck together, man. And he knows what's going on, but he's messing with me. He's like, what do you mean they're stuck together? Dad, they're butt to butt and they're stuck together. And I'm explaining it to him and he's cracking up. And so finally he just tells me, like, listen, man, the dogs are breeding. Let them stay like that. Give them a second. But get ready because you're probably about to have some puppies. And that was my first litter of dogs. That's how it came about. Sure enough, whatever, 2 months later, man, I had my first litter of purebred dogs. Now, were they the best quality? Were they, high powered, the high powered stuff I try and deal in now? Probably not. But it was my first purebred litter, It was my junior year in high school, man. So that's kind of where it started. And I don't know. So I came out 02. So that's probably like 2001, something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just dibbled and dabbled with different breeds. I started with the Rotties, then I did some boxers, then of course I did some pits, and probably like 07, something like that. I got my first American Bulldog. That's really what I started with, American Bulldog.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what I started with. And
Were they just Johnson that you had? Were they?
well, I'm getting ready to tell you. It was I don't know
Oh,
what exactly they were, right? So, but you know what, man? I'm gonna tell you the story, but this part of the story, I feel like it molded till the breeder that I am till this day, like the things that I like and what's important to me. Because the first dog that I got, I don't know if you guys remember this registry, but it was called Dog Registry of America, DRA. Anybody remember that?
No.
No, it was like a knockoff CKC. You don't have papers, you call your number.
Yeah.
But now I didn't know this, so I buy the dog, and then when I start researching, I realized that this dog's supposed to be like NKC. You know what I mean? So I call NKC, and they tell me that they tell me about this 7/8 rule. I need 3 generations. Can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
hear.
Okay. They tell me I need.
Let me pinpoint that right there.
Yeah. That's where it started. They
Yeah.
tell me I need 3 generations for me to get NKC paperwork on the dog. So at the time, I'm not realizing, but looking back in retrospect, that's really where it started, because even till this day, that's what I enjoy. I enjoy that next generation. I enjoy building pedigrees. I enjoy building dogs, and I really feel like it started from having to build the pedigree. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so I did the ABs for a couple of years, and then I found the Corso. So there's a point where I'm coming out of the ABs, I'm going into the Corsos, and I did fairly well with the Corsos. I did them. I still got some Corsos on my yard. You know what I mean? But 2010, 2009, I moved to California. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna stop doing dogs. I'm just gonna go out here and work, start my life over. And I co-owned and sold all the dogs I had. I took one Corso with me to California. And when I got to California, you miss your family, you miss your guys, but man, I missed my dogs. I really I missed everything about it, man. Cleaning the kennels, walking the dogs. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna go find me a bulldog. So I respond to this ad in the paper, and the ad just said bulldog, like it didn't say American. I don't even know what an oldie is at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm in San Bernardino, California at the time. The ad is to a guy that's out in Hemet. So if you know Cali, Hemet like the desert.
Yeah, I know Cali.
Yeah, so
yeah, we all basically Cali natives.
Say again.
We're all basically Cali natives.
Okay, right on, right on. So I drive out to the guy's house, and the guy's name is Josh Buckley. His kennel name was Blue Cadillac Bulldog, and it was the first time that I'd ever seen a real kennel setup, man. Like I walked in his backyard, it was 30 oldie bulldogs back there, big dogs, little dogs, small dogs. And he had one dog named Willie G, and Willie G was like the first oldie that really made me say, okay, this is what I want to do, man, and that's where it started for me. I bought a Willie G daughter named Sasha Fierce, and I ended up going back and getting another female named Cowgirl, Blue Bulldoggie's Cowgirl, and I bred those two dogs to a male named Mongo the Destroyer, and at that point I'm starting to figure things out a little bit, and I'm learning about line breeding and outcrossing, and so I realized I wanted to do some line breeding. So when I did that initial breeding off of Mongo, I kept like 4 or 5 girls off of that breeding, and then I went and got the Rev. Rev was half brother to all of these females, and I line bred Rev back to all of those females, and that's where my line of bulldogs started. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
some of that shit's 10, 12 generations back now. You know what I mean? So,
Tony, were these American or oldies?
These were oldies. These were oldies. Yeah. These were
yeah.
oldies, but like I said, I had co-owned some of my Americans before I went to Cali. So maybe 2 or 3 years into my oldie program, I had some Americans out here in Ohio, but I was in Cali. But I put together some F1 breedings. I flew a couple pups out there, and I worked in my old American blood. So some of the dogs you see today, like if you go back far enough in those pedigrees, some of my old American Bulldog stuff is in there as well.
Okay. So like, so now you went from your Kanye, my favorite accident, from your erotic to the Kanye's, and then you got the AB, and then you had to go over, and then you had to hit that 7/8 rule.
Yeah.
So for those who are not under, like, if they don't know or even have heard about the 7/8 rule, that's what kind of got me to where I'm at right now. Is that 7/8 rule.
Okay.
Yeah. So do you want to just let people know what the 7/8 rule is?
I probably am not the person to really speak on it. You know what I'm saying? What I knew and understood of it then was that basically, even if you outcross to something, once you get to a point where that dog is 7/8 American Bulldog or 7/8, whatever specific breed it is, you can push your paperwork through.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. Because once a dog becomes 7/8, like the 7/8 rule is a percentage of being one breed.
Yeah.
So if you cross a Roddy to an American and you want to get back to American, once that lineage becomes 87.7777% of the American Bulldog, then it's considered 100% of an American Bulldog. So,
can you guys hear me good?
Yeah, we still hear you.
Okay, that's what I'll do. I'll change it. Got me holding it. Is that? Do they still?
No, they don't do that anymore, because that's what started pulling me the oldies. That's how I got into the oldies. Because
you and me both, man. That's really what those F1 breeders is what made me like the oldie Bulldog to the level that I did.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. That's what it was for me. Like, yo, I just felt like I needed to add a little something more And so I can get to what I'm looking for. Like, yo, that works perfect. And I'm like, yo, I can throw whatever I want in this, and then it's still gonna be recognized as an American Bulldog.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it
I
was
mean,
like Build the Bull to me. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
how they
build a
had to
bull to
build
the
a
build
bear.
a bear.
Yeah, it was like Build a Bull to me, man. That's really what excited me about the breed, to be honest with you.
You know, and like to be truthful, man, I really kind of wish they, would bring that back a little bit
Yeah.
because we're like it'll cancel out a lot of these. I feel discrepancies where people are paper hanging.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it keep you true and honest. Like, because you're able to do it, the registry is going to allow it. And then we won't have to, question, like, why is my litter looking like X, Y, and Z or whatever. And then you know exactly what somebody's giving you before you breed it. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, the IOEBA is under new ownership, man. And I know
Yeah.
that John, I know that he's a lot more open to the F1 breedings. But what they did was they still do them. But
Yeah.
you have to email them. You have to reach out to them and explain the thought process.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing because I'm going to tell you really what it was when all that color shit hit the oldie, people, can you guys hear all that?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
It sounds like it's a lot of static.
Oh, that's Dennis driving.
I think it might be Dennis on the freeway.
Yeah, Dennis is out here grinding right now. Man. That's Dennis.
Hey, good touche, man.
Trust me, hey, trust me. We hear it all the time. We on the phone with him.
All right. I just want to make
Yeah,
sure
that's Dennis. That is Dennis's theme song, my boy.
No, you know what? I'm gonna pull to the side right now. I'm gonna pull to the side.
Yeah. So, but what happened was, whereas people were initially doing those F1 breedings, trying to build a solid, hard-body oldie bulldog, and all that color stuff happened, people were taking their oldies and they were breeding the English bulldogs. So then you had this huge influx of oldie bulldogs, but they started, really looking like English bulldogs.
Yeah.
Because people were chasing that. They were chasing the color. They were chasing the money. So I think it's a good thing that they restricted the F1 breeding. But I personally think, some of the best breeders I've ever seen came off of F1 breedings.
Yeah.
American to an oldie, American to an English. I was never really a fan of anything to a pit or an American bully.
Yeah.
I think it added really good muscle mass to it, like substance to it. But it was really hard to get that muzzle off of it.
Yeah.
Next to impossible.
And I'm gonna agree with you on that part. Like I love the fact that when we can go back to the foundation of where we're building the oldie.
Yeah.
But I was never a fan of adding the pit or the bully because one, you would lose the muzzle, and then sometimes like you add a pit, and then you're gonna lose that substance of bone and things like that. But
a lot of people don't speak on this, but quiet as it's kept, the oldie.
Hey, this is where it's at. Hey,
man, the oldie had a huge impact on American bullies, man. Like, and I mean a huge impact. And I mean, you can look at some of those dogs. See, you look at Dax. Okay.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Yeah, right.
Stevie Wonder could see what's behind Dax. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, in that regard, it worked for them though because they wanted to keep that muzzle.
Yeah.
Whereas on our side of the fence, we didn't really want to keep that
muzzle. We had an
muzzle.
impact muzzle. They have the longest extended muzzle.
There you go.
And I definitely I love the foundational breedings and things like that because you kind of got to go back to get back to sometimes you got to do back breeding so you can go forward to really hold on to what really needs to be done in the breed because there's not a lot of everything I feel that we could really go back to as far as in the game, no disrespect or anything, but I just feel like some things are missing because we can't really do the foundational F1s and bring a lot of stuff in from the things that I feel that we're lacking. So before we go on that's a whole nother subject right there. You feel me?
Yeah.
But,
let's talk about it.
I'm about to ask you. So when it comes to these oldies, man, I know we both love it. We both love it. Dennis and Gam, they're not really much of oldie breeders and anything like that. But I think we need to get them in line with us, because we got we had them, so why don't they go get some of these? Hey, Dennis, if you get an oldie, I'll get a Frenchie.
Hey, no, hey, bullshit. Dennis got the perfect ingredient for a badass OG over there.
I know he got an AB Frenchie in it, though, boy. Yeah.
Hey, man, that dog. You pulled some slick shit that day, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So let me tell you how this happens. Now I had seen him. I don't mean to get off subject, but she came up.
Now
We
this
got
is
talking
hey,
about it.
just do you.
So I had seen him 3, 4, 5 times, man. We talk a little crap, you know what I mean? So I'm going over to the working side. I'm getting ready to grab Sergio to go to the working side. Now before that, I said, bro, man, you ain't bring nothing out. He said, yeah, you know, I bought a little AB, you know, but he said it real like, man, yeah, I got a little something, you know what I'm saying? So I'm walking to the working event, and out the corner of my eye, I see this AB, and I look like, oh man, and it's him. I look up, I'm like, oh, that's the little AB,
That's a
you
little
know?
AB,
Yeah, bro. She was hard, man. She was hard. I think if you ask anybody at the show, they had the same response I did too, man. She was just so muscled up, man.
Yeah,
There was muscles everywhere, bro. Like,
and Tony, and that's why we brought her out. You know, we brought her out to show those freaks. You know, Chris been saying it like, hey, the beast is for these freaks to come up. And I'm like, all right, you know, that's why we didn't put her in no confirmation, because I know she's not the perfect dog for confirmation. But for where the show was, I'm like, all right, she'd be good for this.
yeah, oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, that was perfect. The perfect show for that dog for sure.
It was perfect timing how they laid her out too, bro. It was
Oh, yeah.
it
That's
was
the thing with
smooth as
Dennis.
hell,
He real.
man.
Hey, no, that's the thing. That's the thing. Like, we're all best friends here.
Yeah,
And like, you ask Dennis stuff, this, that, and the third, he just stay quiet and kept, even to
yeah,
us. And then he didn't
yeah,
pop up because I'll tell you, it's kind of like the same thing with y'all. Like, Dennis hit me up. He's like, "Hey, my boy, I got something for you." Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
yeah.
"Hey," and he's just talking, and he's like texting me and shit. I'm like, "Yo, what you got?" I'm gonna make you wait. I'm gonna make you wait. Then
Yeah.
I'm in the middle of work. He throw me a picture. I'm like, "Hey, yo."
Yeah,
And he's like,
yeah,
"I
no,
see
he
real
laid.
dog."
Listen,
And I ain't nothing.
I'm telling you, man, most bulldoggers, if they had that dog in the back of their truck, when they pulled her out, they'd have been talking big cowboy. Oh, I got something for you. I got something for you. You know, he was cool and yeah, I got a little AB, I got a little something.
He got that little cartel.
He just cool, you know what I'm saying? So it was
Dennis
cool,
is
man.
like
It was cool.
cartel mafia.
Yeah, it was cool, bro.
Okay?
I'm telling you. And you
Yeah.
know how they had the beat set up this year? It was like where they did the beat stack offs, it was like the back of the show. You know what I'm saying? So literally everybody's kind of like right here. So you just kind of see them come through the crowd and shit. And I'm telling you, man, you can see it. You can see people like, you know what I mean? I thought she had it. I thought she was gonna be Oso. Oso a nice dog too. Don't get me wrong. Like,
Yeah.
but he's a very big. He just got a lot of substance to him. Like he's just a big, you know, he a nice dog. But it's a point where they got. I don't even know the dog's name, but they got her stacked up next to Oso, and I'm standing next to John, and we both like, man, I don't know, bro. I mean, that was a really nice dog, man. That was a really nice dog.
Yeah, that's Sophia right there. But you know what? Shout out to my boy Ray, because Ray, if it wasn't for Ray, Ray got her condition like that, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Whoever had her condition like that, she looked really
That's
good.
our boy Ray.
Did a damn good job with her, man.
Yeah, Ray. He's a firefighter, so he don't really get to come out, and he don't really do much on social media. But you know, he's kind of like Dennis. He just stay in the background, and then
no, that's my dude, man. We chop it up on Instagram every once in a while, man. It was cool to like get to meet him in person. That's my dude.
Yeah.
Hey Tony, well, that boy you took down, you got a customer for that boy, because Ray fell in love with that Doberman you had out there.
Oh yeah. Okay. No, you know what, man? When I first got Servio, man. I mean, when I first got Servio, Ro messaged me like, "Hey, man, what's up?" You know. So it was cool for him to be able to see him in person. You know, see him get down and stuff. I just confirmed the litter off of him yesterday. She's seen 9. So, you know,
Nice.
if she's seen 9, you know, it may be
maybe some tucked away in the ribs.
Yeah. So he a cool dog, man. Like he was my first Doberman, so I never really I didn't really understand like Velcro dog, and I didn't understand like Doberman a different breed, man. And I've touched a lot of breeds, man, but I don't know if I've ever had like the kind of just natural connection that you have with. And I don't know if it's just my Doberman or if it's all of them, but like Serbio just different, man. Like he just different, man. Like and it's cool as hell, man. Like I don't know if I'll ever not have a Doberman. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy him like that, man. So, it's cool.
And he was a good looking dog, man. Honestly, hey,
Yeah,
but shout out to your pops, Tony, because man, I met him. Hey, and he's all dog man too, man.
Yeah. He a rock star, man. He a rock star. I try and bring him to all of the big shows that I come to, man. A lot of people don't know, man, but my dad had a stroke 2020. You know what I mean? So he don't get to rock and roll like he used to, man. So when we can hit the road and go hang out and you know what I mean, I try and take full advantage of it, man. Him and Chris Moore, they got a real good rapport. You know what I mean? Like every year when I say I'm coming, that's the first thing Chris say. I know you bring a pops. Like, yeah, I'm bringing him, bro. I am. So, and I always get good feedback on him. Everybody, enjoyed having him around, and you know what I'm saying. So it's cool, man. It means a lot to me, but it really means a lot to him to be able to get out and interact. You know what I mean? Sometimes you get older and life slows down a little bit, and you're not the lion that you once was, and so to be able to get out there and have a good time, talk a little shit.
yeah, that's respect, yo.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
Tony, but he looked like a youngster with all those dogs, man. I
Yeah,
could see his eyes lining up.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, man. I try to tell you, man. So it literally makes his year, man. Like so I appreciate that, man. Like that's cool to hear, but I get that. Everyone that he interacted with, that's what I got. So when we got back to the room, a lot of people probably don't know this. We get back to the room that night. I'm in the same hotel as Janae Archer, Jamie Sweet's there, John from IOEBA is there, and we had all planned it. It was like a little fireplace downstairs, right? So we were all supposed to come downstairs and we go hang out, kick a little shit, have a couple beers and shit. And but I was just so tired, bro. I pass out, right? So I wake up like 2 o'clock in the morning, my door open. I'm thinking somebody's coming in the room. I got my daughter with me. My dad's supposed to be over here in the next bed, right? So all of a sudden, my dad come around the corner, and I'm like, "Wait, what the fuck is going on, man?" You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
he had been down there with Jamie Sweet and Janae Archer and just a group of bulldoggers, man, just talking shit, man. So I was
Hey,
mad I
Tony.
missed it. You know what I
The
mean?
nightcap,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It was cool,
Tony,
man.
but we were staying in the same hotel because we bumped each other on the elevator. Remember?
Yes,
And
yes.
you were the one like, oh, Dennis, we're gonna hang out, and I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
see?
gonna go.
Okay, see? Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna go put all my stuff in there, but I'm like, you know what? Let me go catch some dinner. So
Yeah.
I went to go catch some dinner, and I'm a big Dodger fan, so we're playing the finals, and I'm watching the game. So by the time I checked, man, it was like midnight, and I'm like, ain't nobody gonna be out there. And so I just went back to the room. I think I only saw John out there.
Okay. Yeah, no, they was out there. They was out because I tell you, I thought somebody was breaking in the room. It was about to get real. You know, I have a daughter. It was about to
You
get
about to
real.
pull
Real.
Sergio out there.
Yeah, oh yeah. He definitely was like, what's going on, Pop? And but John, that's my dude, man. He walked my dad, made sure he walked him back up to the room, made sure he got him in the room. You know what I'm saying? I just see the door open, my dad come in. I'm like, damn, okay. So it was cool, man. That's what I'm saying. Those kind of none of us is here forever, man. When it's all said and done, I'll look back at those kind of trips and those memories, and shit mean a lot to me, man. It really do.
Take that moment. You gotta live in that moment, man. Like,
No
a lot
doubt.
of people take that for granted. Like, every moment we got in this world, in this life, in this day, you gotta live that to the fullest, Like
No
we can
doubt.
only do so much, but if you can make 1% and improve 1% of each day, and even take the most out of 1% out of the most of everything you got, every day it adds up and adds up and adds up.
You ain't wrong.
You
You ain't wrong.
but like one thing I want to say is, like the words of Tupac. What more can I say? I wouldn't be here if the old school didn't fade away, right?
Yeah, no
Yeah.
doubt.
So like, your dad got you all the way up to where we are now.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for dad and that little influence, you wouldn't have made it through that old path and that roadway to get to where you are now. But there was something else that kind of embarked this big time shine you got right here.
Yeah,
You wanna let them know how like you produced Uno.
Okay. Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
for
did
those
do
that
that.
don't know, me and Tony, we go way
A
back.
little bit, man.
Tony was he was an influencer to me as well into getting to the oldies, watching him do his thing, and it's kind of like picking up off of what he was doing. And he did little things that kind of like spark things in a lot of us in the oldie community. But Tony, you produced Uno, and am I correct? Uno was a Scarface son, yeah.
Yeah, he was the first he was the first direct Scarface son, oldie bulldog wise. Now
But
there
the
may have
first,
been some XL people that used Scarface, but as far as in our community, the oldie bulldog, he was the first Scarface son in the United States of America.
yeah. So you're saying, hold on, he's the first oldie in the U.S. Like
Yeah.
it's like the old Scarface oldie in the U.S.
Yeah, he was at.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, the Rev put me on the map. Uno changed my life. That
Okay.
dog, that dog changed my life, man. And it's crazy though because, like I said, I come from Corsos, man. So in the Corso world, it was really nothing to do import breedings. I had probably attempted to do two different import breedings on the Corso side. So when it came time, I had just moved back to Ohio. I had just kind of lost everything. I just left my son in Cali. His mom's in Cali. I just lost everything. So I was kind of on my knuckles trying to rebuild my life, so to speak. And it was just a time in my life where I was shooting for the stars, man. Like, I ain't gonna play with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And I, in my mind, it was like I need who is the biggest? Who is the biggest? Like, what breeding could I do that would just shock the fucking world? And at the time, Scarface was just blowing up. He was big, man. He was everywhere, all over the boards, but nobody had used him, and it kind of tripped me out that nobody. So just on a humbug, man, I reached out to Michael, and I'm like, what's his fee, man? What would it take to get it done? And it was, I mean, it was a high number back then, but it wasn't a crazy number.
Go.
Yeah, fuck it, let's try it, man. And the crazy part is, so I had imported. I did the Scarface breeding. I bred Scarface to Roxy. I bred I had a dog named Kalua who ended up producing Cruz, but I bred Kalua to a Pacific Bulldog named Cleveland. These is all at the same time. I did I all ship semen and I do all of the TCIs within like 3 weeks. So I do the Scarface breeding, I do Kalua to Cleveland, and I breed one of my Corsos to a Corso out of Spain. Don't you know the only breeding of those 3 breedings that took was the Scarface breeding?
That's that only.
Yeah, it was the only one that took, and I had a lot of people don't know this, man. I had 7 pups. It was 3 males and 4 females. And the second day, she smashed the biggest pup. It was a monster pup. It was Uno, and then it was male wise. It was a monster male. Then it was Uno, and then it was like a little runchy kind of male.
Yeah.
So intentionally, I pet home that runt. So after she smashed Big Fella, it was only Uno and that little runt. And I pet home that male out. That way, nobody, even if he did turn out, nobody else would have what I had. And
right.
I had about a 2-3 year run, man, where I had the only one. Like, if you want a direct Scarface, you could drop that big old bag I just dropped and go and hope it take, or you can give me half of what you would have to spend and come see him. And that was really the first time in my breeding career where people was like coming from out of state to see my dog, man. Like, hey, man, I'm in Pennsylvania on work, man. Is it cool if I drive out? Like, it blew my mind, man. I mean, people look at me now, and even now, I try to be humble about, I'm just a guy with some dogs in his yard, man. Like, I'm not no different than nobody else, man. But it just blew my mind that somebody would literally drive, or fly in from Idaho to just come put their eyes on Uno, like not come breed to him. Like, no, well, she's not ready for 2 months, but I want to see him fly out, look at him. It changed my life, man. And a lot of people don't want to say it, or some people do, but it really changed the oldie game too, man, because
it did. I can say it did, because
it changed the game, man. Because after that, all of the hitters started going to get import stuff.
Yeah, and then it brought in that everybody started doing imports.
Yeah, everybody started doing that. I mean, if you was people who were much bigger than me at the time. You know what I mean? Like, or at least in my mind, started chasing that import blood. Started, you know what I mean? And I'm like, damn. I didn't at the time. I don't think I realized what I was doing and the impact that it was gonna have on, the community. This thing of ours. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
10 years. Uno just died last year. He's 11 years old. So
Oh, shoot.
12 years removed from that, man. I mean, it's a ton of Bull Force blood. It's a ton of Bull Planet blood. It's a ton of what's the lady? Sunshine Bulls. It's a ton of
Sunshine
that.
Bulls. Yeah, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man. It really is. So, yeah, man. He was a cool dude, man. He really was.
What I want to do is we got some of the people in the audience asking a few questions. You mind if we touch into that?
Yeah, no, shoot, man. Let's do it.
Bet. So first off, the guy, did you watch our podcast? We had a guy, his name was Jonathan. He was on here, and you mentioned using the Scarface and stuff. And he's just cracking a little joke. He said, and he's a bully breeder. He said, we were living in the future and Tony was asleep. Laugh out loud. But and CJ Hernandez wants to say everybody F1s is where it's at. And F1s, because that's what I did, for mine. I feel like personally, to be honest with you, man, the way I feel, if you're gonna make your lines, start with F1.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go take somebody's generational and then start doing it. I would go build my own type. Because that's the thing about the oldies. You can get various types in the oldies. You can go the English type, you can get the AB type, you get the oldie type. So that's
but
what
I think go ahead, my bad. I don't want to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
I think it's all in your approach, man, because you're a producer, you're a builder. It's like you enjoy the build. You know what I mean? So in your mind, in my mind,
me?
Yeah, you. I mean, you said you would go get an F1 to start yours. And what I'm saying is that's the thought process of a builder, of a producer.
I'll make my F1. I wouldn't
there
go.
There you go. But some people just want to buy the finished product. There's some people that just, you know what I mean? So I think it really kind of comes down to what does it for you. Like if you got a show person, there's show people out there, they just want to breed a perfect dog to a perfect dog. And then take that perfect dog to, I don't really want no perfect dogs. That's the meat and gravy of it for me, man. I'm fixing it. You know what I mean?
Right. Like it's kind of like you'll get you'll get you one of them old schools, those little gems you find in a junkyard. Let me build that from the ground up because guess what? One generation from now, 2 generations, that's mine. I did that. And
man, hold on, fellas. I gotta run and grab a charger. My phone about to die on me, man.
Oh snap!
Yeah, my bad, man. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Go do that. We gonna make sure Dennis is safe out here.
Right on, man.
What's up?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
I saw some cop lights behind you. Say we go. Like, bro, I saw some. Oh, they got it.
Sir, you okay?
The police.
What's going on over here? Someone asked, what did they ask? Do y'all prefer TCI over AI? I did my first TCI.
I was going to ask that question, but I want to wait for Tony to get back so we can all interject on that one.
On my last breeding, sorry. I guess it depends on the circumstances what you're doing it with. Yeah. I mean, obviously, AI is easier.
I think I'll do it. Yeah, TCI, I'll usually do it if her numbers are really high, or if I have frozen semen, I'll go with the TCI.
And I agree with Dennis. If I'm going to do a TCI, it's like once that window is almost closing and the numbers are really, really high, that's going to be the best time to do a TCI. If not, I do an AI if the male's not in my yard. But if the male is in my yard, I'm natural tying all day long. I ain't doing nothing else but a natural tie. I'm old school, bro. I don't get it. Like the shipping and semen and stuff like that's cool and everything, and we need it. And I'm glad we can do it. But just nothing has that certainty like natural tie does. But if you're gonna do an AI, if the male's in your yard, I think that you ain't got to ship it like anywhere. Then I think that's a good way of doing it too.
But you got to remember too. Sometimes the male has trouble mounting the female, or they can't tie. So I suggest just hit them with AI every day.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I think if AIs, if you can, I mean, TCI, if you need to. Of course, natural is the way to go. I mean, But if you're using something else or outside, then yeah, AI. But TCI
Yeah.
for maybe something frozen, like you said, something shipped, or if
You
you
could
don't maybe
ask.
put on the size of the
So,
dogs too.
so yeah. So Tony, look, somebody asked, it was like, do you prefer TCI or AI?
Um, so if I'm live, if I got the dog right here with me, I'm gonna do an AI every trip. I'm a progesterone the dog. I'm gonna do an AI. If I'm shipping semen in, if it's fresh semen, I'm gonna have it shipped to my vet, and we're gonna do a TCI. If I'm shipping frozen semen in, like matter of fact, the Scarface breeding was TCI as well. So generally speaking, like if I'm shipping it in and I got one shot at it, I'm gonna do a TCI. But if I'm able to do a live breeding, or do 2 or 3 AIs, like say I'm in Ohio, they shipped me 2 loads from Missouri, then
Yeah.
I'll do an AI. But if I got one shot at it, then I'm gonna do a TCI.
All right. And then here's another question, man. That's a good question for a lot of people might ask or whatever. You brought up progesterone testing.
Uh-huh.
Everybody has a different number and reasons and all that stuff like that. So as a group, Dennis, I'm gonna ask this question and see what you think about it, what your numbers are, what you think. You brought up progesterone, and I want to know when you do your PGs, what numbers you do and why. Me, I don't like people can say you can do them at a 6. I'm not a fan of 6s. I pass the 6. I like to have because you're ovulating at the 6.
Yeah.
So I like for all my eggs to drop. So once I hit like a 10, I still wait. Because you can ask Dennis, if it ain't a 12 to 15, I ain't touching nothing.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I let the 6 come. I let the 10 to 12 come so the eggs can drop, a little marination in there. And then that's when I like to prefer to do my AIs. They've all hit for the most part for that. If I do any less, I don't think that's a really good thing for my progesterone numbers. But Dennis, what's your go on that?
No, I usually from 12 to 15. That's when I start doing AIs. I don't like no lower numbers than that. I think in the past I have some people try them at an 8, 7, 6, and they don't take. And I usually tell them, hey, just wait a couple of more days, let her numbers go up and go from there. But some people are just impatient, and they're like, no, just send it. Send the semen. She'll be ready by the time you send it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, sometimes people get real excited.
And Tony, what do you think? Yeah, they do get really excited. Like, oh, I want to have these puppies. That's the one thing about the game, man. You got to be patient. But Tony, what's your progesterone choices?
I'm in the same spot as you guys, man. So ovulation is 5, right? So if it's an in-house breeding, I'll probably, as long as it's over that 5, say she come back at a 5, I'm gonna wait 2 days and I'm gonna start breeding her. You know what I mean? If it's a client dog and I'm looking for an exact number, like they coming to me one time, I'd like it to be over 10. I think 15 is a great number. You know what I mean? Like if I get a 15, I'm like, oh yeah, let's do it today and tomorrow, and you should be golden.
Right.
30 of these months. You know what I mean? So I get excited when 15 is kind of my,
that's that lottery number, right?
Yeah, that's it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because at 15, I mean, and even like if I'm doing live breeding, say she come in, and it's my dog. Say she come in and the number's 10.9. I'm a hitter. You know what I mean? I'm a hitter 10.9. I'm gonna skip a day. I'm gonna hit her again because I know that 15 is right. You know what I mean? But ultimately, that's really where I'm trying to find it at. 15 somewhere in there.
Yeah, like before we get to you, like I ended up so my foundational F1 breeding, that man, she was at like what was she? She went from like what was it, Dennis? Because Dennis go along with me through all of it. Man, she was at like a 9. Then the next day, bro, she was at like a 14.
Oh,
yeah. Then by the time the semen got here, she was at like a 20. I'm like, yo, she clicked on me like quick.
But you still had a nice. What'd you have? 7, 8?
10.
Did you? Yeah.
That's it. And then I had to like kind of wing it for this my F1 African Bulldog. I kind of had to wing it because my progesterone machine broke. So I went back to the old school method. day 7 to 11.
Yeah, just load her up, man.
Yeah, bro. Hey, that's the thing, though. Hey, like I said, what more can I say? I wouldn't be here today if the old school didn't pay the way. And if I didn't know that, I've been like running around like, oh man, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? But those little things you pick up along the way are very, very valuable, and things like that become like a natural, like a great resource. So that's one part of my podcast, guys. Like all these little things and the tricks of the trade, man. Just take notes, write these down, so that way you can pick up on something and like use it for yourself. But Gam, what's those progesterone numbers, my boy?
After 10, I think if you could do an AI, it's probably better. But if you're gonna do something like maybe frozen or ship something, then yeah, probably a little bit higher, like to past 13.
Yeah.
I think you're good, but 10 is a good spot because like somebody on there said if they go up, they double.
They double.
I've seen dogs go, real fast, like you said, like from 6 to 9. You're like, oh shit, we're not ready.
Yeah.
Like, I need the semen.
Express
to the vet. Yeah, and then so if you get it there and just monitor it, but usually you got every 2 days. But yeah, I think that's anything above 12 is 12 is good.
Yeah. Well,
and then you hit it every other day, you'll be good.
So CJ hit on a subject that that takes us back to the F1s, right? So my biggest thing, like what I like as far as F1, the reason why I took Typhoon, he was a bigger English type, yeah. So I like my biggest goal and what I want to do is do an AB to an English. And whenever you're doing the foundational, Tony, what do you like to what do you want to do and what do you want to bring in for your foundation?
I haven't done an F1 man in some time, man. But for me, generally speaking, I'm probably going up. I'm probably going to an AB, but not a traditional AB. I'm looking for a male version of Sophia. You know what I mean? So
I didn't say.
You know what I mean? If I'm gonna bring an AB in, it's only for a couple reasons. I want to put some height on it. I want to add some, muscle tone to the dog. I want to put a bigger head. I want that Mufasa type looking AB, but on an oldie frame. And I don't mind the EB breedings. I've seen some really nice EB AB breedings that produce really well. In my earlier days, I did a couple of them. But yeah. I feel like when you put that EB in there, man, you get the EB traits, but you get those EB fucking problems too, man. And for me, I mean, but you just got to pick right. I guess is what
I was gonna say the same.
I think where a lot of people get messed up when they do that EB AB is they pick the EB looking pups, and unless that's what you're looking for, then now you got EB problems. You know what I mean? Where if you pick the taller, longer dog in that EB/AB, when that dog is of age and it turns out, it's going to have that oldie look. It's going to have the muscle tone to it. It's going to have the leg. But a lot of people, they go for that bully or that rolled up dog. But for me, if I was going to bring an AB in, I'd want it to make my dogs bigger, bigger heads, more muscle, more girth to them, that nice split down their back, nice that split in between the head, those type of traits, add some extremity to my dogs is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I agree with you on the same token as well. Mm-hmm. But like for me, like for what I'm like overall looking for is a touch of between the AB and the EB. Right. Like I want more of the EB strike facial front. I don't want nothing that body, none of that. I just want that facial front, adding a little wrinkle, that bulldog look. But let me keep that bigger size AB. I don't want
type on an AB frame.
Yeah, exactly. I want an XL. I want a double XL EB, right? But one thing is, when you're doing, I believe if you're going to be doing these foundational EB AB breedings, like people aren't like there's no patience here. Yeah. And on top of that, I don't feel that no one is being, how to put it, like they're not being selected. Mm-hmm. They're going with the flow of what they think the world needs and what the world wants instead of themselves. So they're not taking the patience. Then on top of that, in being patient, where you say you doing the AB, EB, you get some of the EB problems. Well, they're not willing to take that time to go test every puppy before they just the full selection of it. Because there's a lot of things in selecting. You still want a health test to make sure that I'm not carrying on anything from the EB into my oldie program. But then they run into that problem, they hit the wall. So like CJ Hernandez said this. He said the only problem he goes, I feel with that problem of doing that F1 is they to go back on the EB to EB. And I'm not gonna lie, I agree with him.
You're right.
Because you're an oldie, in my personal opinion. I grew up when I came into the oldies, they were, we had Ray Cooper, Elwood McLean, we had Matisse, yes, we had Geronimo, we had Bandit. Yeah. Yeah.
So you know what? That's what I'm talking about. Like when I say if I'm gonna bring an AB in, I wanted to put an extreme look on. Like that dog Geronimo, man,
was a monster.
Who had him? Who was the guy that had? Man, it was a guy that had him looking crazy, man.
Was it wasn't Elwood? Was it Elwood?
I think the guy had him. Elwood had him looking good, but who had him after Elwood?
I don't remember who had him after because there was a video. Because I remember the dude posted a video from being like I said, like the second part, like story of his house, and he was down there on that chain, and he came out by that blue pool, and he was on that chain. I'm like, hey, yeah. And I'm like, yo,
yeah. Bro. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, don't worry, I still got that video still saved in the message with me and Elwood, me and Ray Cooper. And that's Ray
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Ray Cooper was my mentor that brought that into me.
Yeah.
And that's where my vision of an oldie. And like we all like that's one thing about the oldie that is cool is that you can get different various types. But like I just don't like the going heavy English and the little shorter leg and stuff like that. I don't think that's an AB. And I'm gonna say what I say, and I don't mean it to be disrespectful. If you're gonna go into an oldie and you're gonna make an EB look, EB hype,
go breed
EBs. Exactly. Go breed EBs, bro. Like that ain't an oldie no more.
But I'm gonna tell you why it went the way it went, because what happened was people started taking especially when the color hit, people started taking their oldies, which generally speaking at that time was a cheaper dog. You could get into a nice oldie at that time, $100, right? And then breed it to it already had color, and then breed it to a color EB, and the pups are gonna come out looking EB, blue tri, black tri, chocolate tri. Now they getting 4,500, 5,500 on their color EBs. Well, this dog that I was getting 1,500 for, I can now, put it 3,500. It looked just like an EB, and I can pitch it as a healthier alternative to an EB, even though I just bred all that BS. So it was a money move, man. It was just, and then what happens is they do that first cross, and they see what puppies sell out of it. So if I got 10 puppies, 5 of them look like EBs, and those 5 sold like wildfire. Well, the next time I breed this dog, I'm trying to make those dogs because they sell. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
I think the business got in the way, but I also think that's why the registry kind of pulled that shit back and made people like literally you have to send them a picture of the mom, dad, and type out your thought process.
Like,
and
the reason why I'm doing it,
which I think is a good thing.
Hey, John, thank you very much. I'm just gonna say that right now because it's gonna help clean up a lot of these issues, and like because I had to do the same thing for my foundational because it has to get approved before you can do it, and then I crack up if somebody's gonna go ahead and do the breeding and then send it in to see if it's gonna get approved, but so since we're in these like EB to EB, and what he says, where can EB AB be done? Still, you can Sykes, you can do EBAB through IOEBA.
IOEBA,
absolutely. That's a foundational, and I personally I'd do it like that's my next one. Well, I got a few next ones, so we ain't gonna. But
and honestly, I think they would approve it, man. I think they'd approve it for most people, but I think
they won't all think approve for everybody.
Yeah, they're not gonna do it for everybody if your conversation and your thought process ain't where it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And then 2, if you do like say you do a EBAB, then you come back a year and a half later and say, okay, I want to take those puppies back to an EB. I think that's where the registry is gonna kind of be like, well, wait a minute, man, where are we going?
Yeah.
and I can't speak for the registry. I don't speak for them. I don't know what their thought process is, but I do feel like that's why they put those checks and balances in place to make sure that we're still um, aiming to produce an oldie bulldog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Again, can you do me a favor?
What's up?
Can you? I'm trying to look at these and still stay with Tony. Like these questions. There's one I think just popped up, and I think it's gonna be a real good discussion in a minute. But but Tony, whenever we look at our oldies and things like that, like me personally, I see some things that we may possibly want to clean up and things like that. So I think my home put my MacBook in. Hey, I'm on Tony Clay time right now. I got to get my I got to, but I ain't got to go nowhere.
I had to charge mine too. I had 2% when I ran.
Yeah, like that was one of the things that we learned in the earlier of this podcast. Is like when my phone, when my MacBook get the glitching, I know what that means. I know when that holla bang is like, hey, plug that mug in. You feel me? But
yeah, one of the comments that I seen where he said like you shake the soda bottle, then you're not sure what you're gonna get, right, CJ? Which,
yeah,
that's in my thing, right? I don't really do none of that stuff, but shout out to the people that do. But for me, that's my thing because you don't really know what you're gonna get, right? So then you start messing around, and then somebody put another thing that says, yeah, then the problem is when those puppies get older, then the owners hit you up because let's be honest, yeah, you could do, oh, I'm gonna do this EB to this, and then we don't really know what it's gonna look like because it is an F1. We don't know what's gonna take. We don't know which way it's gonna go. So the litter is gonna look, kind of crazy. There's gonna be litter mates, and somebody's gonna be like, oh, that's a AB. Oh, that's the EB. Oh, that's the oldie. Guess what? They're all the same litter, right?
yeah.
Right.
So that's where, like, unless you're selling it to other people as foundation or people know, but that's where I feel like it gets a little tricky because, that already, even if it's tight, but it's still two different breeds of dogs. So it opens up kind of like this big, kind of.
Yeah. So like that's one thing where, like, because when you take an oldie to an EB or AB to an, I'll say AB EB. This is a 100% outcross now. So in the 100% outcross, you're going to get some scattered looking stuff. And
well, yeah, because not only is it outcross, but it's two different breeds. An outcross would be like the same breed, but I'm going to something different, right? But this is two different breeds. Back in the day, right, they would be like, that's a mutt. Get that out of here. Right? So, but you don't know what it's going to get. And then they do take the traits. You ever see like in the movies when they have like two different dogs, like a poodle and a bulldog, and then they have like, they all mix them perfect, like they're just big bulldogs, but with like,
and it'd be one bulldog in there.
Yeah, or they're like all perfectly 50-50. In reality, you wish we could do that, but maybe one comes like that or two, so that's where it gets like kind of tricky. Then you get some cool ass dogs, and they're like, okay, this is what I like, and now I need to do this, repeat this over here, and then we need to repeat it again, and then stay consistent with it. But there's a big process to that. That's the process to that.
And I think that's kind of what CJ was just saying, the way he was like, that's where the F2, F3 come into play. I couldn't really see it. It was moving on. What were you about to say, Tony?
That's the other problem that comes with them. Say I get a monster out of it. Like say I just get this big gorilla looking, dog. How consistent is that dog gonna produce? Because it's such a scattered-bred dog. You put a 120-pound AB through a 50-pound EB. You also got to think you're putting a lot of power through that little dog. So it's going to offset jaws. It's going to offset hits, And even if you do hit it right, how consistent is that dog going to produce? So, I mean, like in the beginning, I probably, I had a good time with them. But once you get into your line, man, it's like, is it worth the risk? Because very much so what bro was saying, what am I going to get? How is it going to produce? So you just got to really know what you're doing with it, man. I don't think it's for everybody.
So do you have like, so I got it kind of like for me. So like when we're doing these outcross and things like that, and like depending on your genetics of what side you use. And I think if people would study their genetics of like, their outcross dogs, their foundational dogs, and know which one is the stronger genetic, you're going to know what you're going to get from there. But you may want to reproduce this dog that you produce. Me personally, I'm only going to use him in my yard until I know what he does. Because why put him out in the public not knowing. Because now if you throw them out in the public, then guess what we're doing? We're throwing another pebble into the pond, rippling things up that's already rippled. Yeah. So, but then on top of that, I really think, now I'm going to tell you this, and I say it all the time, like all the time. You're going to have to do an inbreeding. You're going to have to. Because the only way to lock in traits is put it on the top and on the bottom. So if you want that consistency to come out, you're going to have to inbreed. You can go back and do a back breed. You can do a line breed. But me personally, I think the inbreed is going to be the more consistent to reproduce that. But in that question, what do you think would actually help produce consistency from doing outcross?
I mean, man, Bruce, it's a guy, my dude Bruce from Steel Curtain, man. He said, nephew, breed it till it break. I'm like, what do you mean breed it till it break? He said, line breed it until it's not producing the results that you want. That means it just broke, and then outcross to fix the break. And I think it's a pretty good thought process. I think the only way to get consistency in dogs is to line breed and breed a group of, doesn't have to be necessarily closely related, but related somewhere down the line with similar DNA. That's really the only way to get it. I mean, because two scatterbred dogs that look just alike, not always going to produce, you know what I'm saying, that particular.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, for me, in my experience, some of the best productions that I've ever had were line bred dogs. People don't know this, but Cruz, he was a line bred dog. I mean, just some of the Hitman was double bred Scarface. I bred Uno to a half sister, and Hitman was a monster, bro. So some of my best productions across all the breedings that I've done, I mean, all the breeds that I've dealt with were line bred dogs. I mean, so for me, I'm always gonna say line breed the hell out of your shit until there's a moment where you need to outcross. I'm kind of in that moment now with my oldies. You know, most of my stuff is line bred stuff, but I've lost some size, I've lost some height, and that's something that I'm trying to bring back. I just got a new male. That's some Garden Bull stuff. Was produced by man, I can't think of my dude's name. Kevin Sheen. Man, I can't think of his kennel name. I want to shout him out too. I'll try and come back to it, but I'm saying, you know, I'm at a point where I got to bring some new blood in that has some height, you know, that's a little bit different from what I've been running, because I've been line breeding so long that I'm losing size on my stuff. So for me, you know, I'm always going to say line breed your shit. And until you got to outcross, but at some point you're going to have to outcross, but until then, keep it close.
Okay. Again, there was a comment by Alfonso Scott. Can you scroll back and find it? He said something about you can't breed an AB to an EB. It moved out of the way, so I can't get to it.
Yeah, because then you got to take it back to. I wasn't sure.
Yeah,
that's on the other one, but yeah, he said you can't breed an AB to an English because you'll have to still bring it back to an oldie.
Okay. What is Jessica Bailey? Jessica Beckley. She's saying, Great Hall, I would love to ask you more about that when you have time. Hey, hit me up anytime you want to. I dog 24/7. So after we get off this, this is what I do. So Jessica, after we get off of this live podcast and stuff like that, I'll get with you. We can talk about line breeding, all that stuff like that. But Dennis, you. I think he's losing his. There you go. Because he be hitting the mountains. Yeah, see, Dennis hit the mountains, and it's a wrap, bro. So, Dennis, on the subject of
Tony, I live. Go ahead.
See, I told you, he hit him. He in the mountain.
He's in the mountains.
Yeah,
we gotta wait till he gets out.
Bro, it's a wrap. Yeah, because you know he said he was an hour and a half from home. He almost there, so he in the mountains. Dennis, you hitting them turns in the mountains, ain't you?
I am.
He's hitting the pass right now.
Yeah, but man, but with that said, because Dennis, you're hosting everything. So if you hit the mountains, that's gonna cancel everything for everybody. So
yeah, I'm almost out of it. So we almost good. Yeah.
Cool, because I don't want to mess up the whole where we at right now. Like, I don't know if we got to do a part 2. Like, what's the deal? But Dennis, can you hear us? We're asking about ways to produce consistency and how to do that. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on that, the way I do things now, it's I inbreed first and then I line breed from there. But to get the most consistency from both, you inbreed brother to sister. That's where you're gonna hit the key consistency. And then from that, you just line breed because now you lock in the top and the bottom from what the traits you're looking for.
Yeah,
That's hey, I couldn't have said it better myself.
straight to the source.
Right. Because that's exactly the way like the people like fail to realize, like, one of the things we covered in the earlier podcast. In order to create a breed or have a breed, when they ask you how's that dog bred, they're asking how many generations of inbreed is that dog. And that's the way things are done. Like you want to have a heavy consistency of the traits in the pedigree. Because if it's not, like if you look at all the dogs that are line bred, but you want to look at type and traits. And I always say this, like Tony, I don't know if you tuned into our first podcast, and I shared this with people, something called the black hole theory. It's hard to find that link, but I'll send it to you. And I did that theory and method with this litter I produced of my F1s. And every key point of that theory, I actually have them on. And I kept
Send it over to me.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. And I kept them. And that's where Tookie is at.
Okay.
Tookie, Wolfina, Monroe. I kept them three. They ain't going nowhere. And the other one I have, Too Hot, she's a little bit of in that trait as well. Because that genetic key points of that pedigree are really, really vital. Like, so I'll send it over to you so that way you can take a look, see on it, all that jazz like that. But let's get into what your nouns are. Like what you got right now, what you got going right now. So are you transitioning over to completely do Dobies, or are you still with us in the AB in the old?
No.
All right, cool.
I'm an oldie, and I'm an oldie guy. I really got Serbio just because I really wanted to get into the working side of things, man. Life.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I just, I had never really got into it. It was something I always admired. You know what I mean. Even I don't know if you remember when you used to come out and do deliveries for me, man, and you'd have that female in the back of the truck. And I'm like, turn her on, bro. Let me see what she. I used to always just be interested.
Hey, you ain't gotta turn her on. You can walk over there. That bitch always.
Man. And that's what he was saying. Go ahead, knock on the window. Like, I ain't fucking.
Yeah, go ahead, go over there.
So I'll never not do oldies. And I don't really plan on doing a ton of Dobie litters, but I'll probably have a litter or two a year, man, and just enjoy the breed for what it is. But I'm an oldie guy, man, and that's kind of where I plan on staying. Last couple of years, I've kind of taken a step back, dabbled in the Frenchies and, a little EB here and Dobies and played with my Corsos a little bit. But a lot of the dogs that I've been holding back, I still been running my oldies. I just ain't been promoting them as much because a lot of that stuff was growing up, So I got a whole barn of nothing but first picks, nothing but picks of the litter back there. So now it's time to start really laying that stuff out, man, and start putting that stuff to work. And I'm excited to get back into producing my oldies, at a high level, man.
Yeah, because I just think it was just the other day you just got one brought into you. I was reading the pedigree on it. Yeah. I was reading that pedigree on it because I think I see some NSK in there in the back.
Yeah, a little bit. Huh? You saying
yeah. So I'm like, hey, hold on.
Yeah,
yeah. So let me ask you. So when you brought that back, you're wanting to make sure that you can keep that line. Is that why you brought the dogs, or what was the?
So you know what? To be quite honest with you, man, I just lucked up, and they had some of my stuff back there, man. I bought the dog. One, I've become a fan of Sunshine Bull stuff. That Brazilian blood, those Brazilian bulldogs. I really just become a fan of that style of bulldog. But also, much like I said, it's just kind of something that I feel like I need in my program right now. Put 2-3 inches on my dogs. Stretch them out a little bit, tighten up the skin. Put that nice split down the middle. I have the type I want, but if I could put another 3-4 inches on those dogs with a little bit more muscle, and a little less skin. That's kind of where I'm trying to go. So I had looked into a dog that was like a half brother to this boy or uncle, something to that effect, that was here local, here in Ohio. But for a number of reasons, that didn't pan out. And to be quite honest with you, man, this boy literally just fell in my lap, man. And it was like he just fell in my lap, and I can't really say it any other way than that. But he was exactly what I was looking for. And so, I jumped all over him, man. But I do have big plans for him, and he is kind of the way that I want to take the program going forward. Not specific to just him, but in terms of his type, his height, his head, his muscle. That's kind of where I'm looking to go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So
Tony, I have a question for Tony.
Mm-hmm.
Tony, would you consider maybe? I know you have your dogs now, and I know you're adding this boy to those lines. But would you ever thought about maybe creating a separate line, like that Brazilian bull, that type you like, creating something first from that, and then probably infuse it with the stuff you have on the floor where you made your name from?
Yeah. So yeah, actually, it's kind of funny that you said that. I was having a conversation with my dude John literally this morning, walking into the gym. So you find yourself in that situation where you're bringing in new blood, and you have the thought process: okay, do I cut all of my established stuff with this new blood, or do I breed this male to something totally outside of it and make a whole litter that I can then infuse into the different strands on my program? So I have a American Bulldog female as well, man, a lilac American Bulldog. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, actually, to be quite honest. I was going to run her to Mohan. I still kind of probably will, but the thought crossed my mind, maybe I take this new boy to the AB and make a whole litter of taller, muscular, big-headed dogs of the type that I'm trying to create, and then I have several different options of dogs that I can use to run back through my established stuff. So, yeah, absolutely. It's definitely crossed
I
my
would,
mind.
yeah, definitely. I think that would be the I don't want to say the best thing, but that's something that you will be known for as well.
Yeah.
Creating a different line with that type of muscle and tight skin with the stuff you already have established, and that'd be great.
I think it's a safer bet too, because obviously, say she has 7, 8 pups, I hold back some, I co-own some out. So now I got an option of 5 dogs, 6 dogs that are built like this, that have the type, that have, the new traits that I'm looking to bringing in, instead of just this one dog that I'm going to run through. So yeah, no, it's definitely crossed my mind. And like, I think it's a safer move. You know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see how it play out though, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, we'll see.
So, I'm looking at the comments and stuff like that, and I'm gonna try to get into the audience as well. Alfonso's saying he has an African Borbal, and a Cane Corso that it's mixed. It's a half and half, and he's trying to see which way what did he say? Trying to see which way to go. What do you think? Well, that's a hard question to answer, because we don't know what you want from the dog, as far as, like, you say you want to keep the temperament, but what are you trying to build as far as the physical traits? So, and plus you got to remember, you're going to an Italian Mastiff to an African Mastiff, and you got to selectively pick. Once you do the breeding, you got to selectively pick what you want as far as traits go. And that's the same thing we were saying. Once you get them, man, you got to find the 2 that completely look alike and still have that temperament and everything, and inbreed them together, and then get back to line breeding, because that's exactly because I'm like my generation 2 of my African Bulldog I got, man, is I'm picking the dog. I've named him Ogun, and then I have the dog I named Philly. Those 2, I can just already look at this litter already, like, yo, they're the most impact muzzle. Everything else is a little bit like the mom. And there's one that looks like the mom, but he's a little wider in muzzle, but that's not what I'm going for. Right. Because I trust the temperament on both of my dogs, because everybody's seeing a dressure. A dressure doesn't give me no pushback. And then I got Pelotes, which is off the Bagara Bull lines, and that temperament is like on point. Gam got it, Dennis got it, we got other people that got it. And then when you look at Tookie, who's the son of that, of Pelotes, and his temperament is just like Pelotes, and he still has a little protection sense in him. So I know I don't have any fear of temperament, but I got to look at my structure, and I'm going to have to smash that together so that way I can keep going on my African Bulldog and get that done so I can keep my traits. Because without a look, like you can do the mental stuff and not the temperament and everything, but what is your design that you're going for and things like that? Like you can't. That's the only way I can answer that question. Like I don't know your vision of what you're looking for to produce as the dog.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, those mixes too is kind of broad, and then where you want
Yeah,
to go with it. Do you want it to be like a a sport dog, or
yeah.
yeah, he could go anywhere. What's up, Randy? Randy said let's talk about getting some shows going where the judges are required to judge the dogs and not the handlers. Too many times I see dogs winning because the handlers has done a good job handling very average dog and winning over much superior dogs. As a judge, it's your job to pick the best dog. It's a dog show, not a handler show.
Yeah.
I agree with Randy. Because I see some dogs that are lackluster compared to some other dogs winning in the show ring. And let's go ahead and talk about that. Mr. Tony Clay, what you got popping up in the OHIO coming up soon?
Yeah, man. So I can't really speak for the other registries. I
Right.
can't say that I've been to some registries. I'm not one to name drop or throw no shade, but I do know what he's speaking of. But I can tell you that the IOEBA is making a really big push this year. I think he has 4 shows lined up. February there's a show in Arkansas. My guy Sykes Pups is having one. I'm having one here in Ohio, March of 2026, March 21st. There's another kennel, Hat Creek, that's having one down in Texas. And then John and Camria, the actual owners of the IOEBA, are having one in St. Louis, and I believe it's the IOEBA Nationals. I do know that they would like to make a big push to the American Bulldog community for you guys to come out, get registered with the IOBA. Now, I know you guys show NKC and but I don't see a ton of NKC shows. I do know that they're trying to create a circuit, not just for the oldie Bulldogs, but also for the American Bulldogs, to kind of have a show circuit, have a show home, where they can come out and show. I myself just am a IOEBA judge. All of the people that they've brought on since I've came on have all been super qualified people, all real producers, people that have a long resume of building high-powered dogs, man. So not just specific to the register that he's speaking of, but all the AB people, all the American Bulldog people. If you guys are looking for a registry where you guys can come and have your dogs judged, based on the merits of the dog, what's in front of you, and not it be about the person who won nationals the last 3 years or the person who shows for this person. I think the IOEBA is a great option for you. It's a great option. You know what I mean? I feel like I just gave a death row speech. If you don't want to, got to worry about your manager all in the videos. Come to IOEBA.
Well, as long as I've known you, what have I called you? What up, Shug?
Yeah, no doubt, man. I was Suge Knight for Halloween a couple years.
Yeah, it was.
Suit on.
So, that's one thing. Like with the IOBA, I love that they register multiple breeds, and so for Lotzi, she's actually registered IOEBA. And but with that being said, about bringing more ABs and stuff out, me, Gam, and Dennis, we're gonna do our best to attend more of the IOEBA shows. But guys, go ahead and mark your calendar because 2027.
Man, it wouldn't have to be specifically at my show. You guys could pick one of the 4.
We're gonna hit them all. We're gonna hit as many as we can.
If you guys could come out, like the one they just had in Missouri, my dude Sykes, he has a podcast. I don't know if you guys know Sykes.
Oh yeah, sure.
He's on here right here.
Yeah. You right here conversating with him.
Oh, okay. What up, bro? What up, bro? But he went live from the show, so I think it would be cool. I know he'll be live from a couple of the shows, but if you guys and just did your podcast live, you know. So
No, we're trying. That's one of the things that we wanted to do, like because I was actually going to go to the show as well.
okay,
Yeah, because I was gonna like my goal was to bring out my working dog.
hey, come on out, come on
No,
out.
no, like during at the beach to the east.
At my
At the
show.
beach,
I'll
at the beach to the east, I was planning on bringing my protection dog, and then out of nowhere, I found out she was actually pregnant,
I'm with you.
so I couldn't do that. And we were planning on going live on that. But all the IOEBA shows, we conversated about it and trying to see when we can go and things like that. But we got breeding and stuff also, so it's going to be kind of hard. And plus, they're in Cali. I'm like, that's kind of a trip. But
Yeah, that's what we're trying to get. So when we need a couple shows over here, it's been a minute, but
yeah,
I want to make a drive to over there.
I'm down to do one in Cali, but if you guys didn't catch our last podcast, I'm just going to put it out there. Yeah, you go ahead and mark your calendars for April 2027. I mean, April 2027. Me, Dennis, and Gam will be hosting our own IOEVA show.
Oh man, that would be sweet, bro.
Yeah, so we got it. So that way we can get some AVs into the IOEVA. But if you guys are locked in right now, like start registering them dogs now because there's AVs in Texas. And you know how you do it in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas. So go and do your thing, show up and show out. And then right there, y'all right surrounding Arkansas, y'all in Tennessee. There's a lot of Tennessee dogs. There's a lot of Louisiana dogs. Amon, you right by Arkansas. If you tuning in, man, don't take some of your hot stuff out there. Because I agree with you. We need a bigger platform. We need a spot where we can all get together and jamboree. And that's one thing I love about the IOEBA, and I'm glad and I love that they have put this in so that way there's more than there's actually shows. Because we've been registering the IOEBA for what, 20-something years? And we ain't had no school dance yet.
Yeah. Well, if you look at like,
hey, Dennis made it home, everybody.
Made it home, right on, bro, right on.
All right,
yeah.
Yeah.
The American Bullies have a show circuit, and
yeah.
So within that, but our breeds, olde bulldogs and American bulldogs alike, we don't really have a circuit of shows that you can count on consistently being there. And I know personally that's what the IOBA is trying to create right now. A circuit of shows that are going to be there. If it's once a month, once every other month, but a place for us to come showcase our dogs. That's about us, right? That's about
right.
oldies versus us going to an American Bully show that they're letting us participate in. Which
right, and I agree with you. I agree with that because, like, when you go to the American Bully show, it's a bully everything, and then you go like, hey, you got your one little stand in, and then it's a wrap.
Yeah.
And like, I love that IOEBA and John and what his wife have done. Like, we got a place to call our own now.
Yeah, man, no
like,
doubt.
Bulldog, like that's it. And then we've been waiting on this for a minute.
And long time
coming. Been around for the longest, like, because I've been around since 2000 with the oldies, and I ain't never once seen a show, like never.
Yeah, so you know what though, I had to we did 2 shows, so maybe 2009.
No, I mean for the was the IOEBA though.
Yeah, it was IOEBA. We did the
okay.
We had a club, so maybe 2011, something like that. We had a club in Southern California, so we did the first 2 IOBA shows ever in Southern California. We did 2 in 1 year, and they were nice turnouts, but the club ended up dissolving. Life happens, and then the next one I think was Chuck Coffey had one in Pennsylvania. Him and Mike Hughes had one.
Oh, that's the name I heard in a minute.
Yeah, but then they didn't have any after that. So what happened though is, John and his wife, like I said, there's new ownership with the IOEBA, and I think they just have a different vision of what they want it to be, and you can see it. I don't know if you send any paperwork in lately, but that shit's coming back quick.
Oh yeah, it's coming back real quick. And like,
you're like, damn, okay,
like just for real. Yeah, and then also just what they do, man, like. They call you when the paperwork shows up.
Absolutely, bro.
You're like, hey, whoa. Like you
look at your phone like, damn, for real.
You see it. I would be
like, So I'm glad that you feel it too, because I say to them all the time, like, bro, we can feel the difference, and it's no shade to the previous owners, man. I mean, I appreciate what the IOBA has done.
Yeah.
Going back, but I do notice and feel a huge difference and how they handle the community and how the paperwork's handled and how these shows are coming together and just the overall vibe and general feeling between everybody, you know. So
And
shout out to
like,
them, man.
and one thing
And Tony, you're you're right. The vibe with Jonathan is way different, man. He makes you feel like family, just welcoming.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, and
Like
like
he's one
another
of
thing,
us, you know, because it's
yeah,
I mean he
right.
truly is one of us, you know. But
And then also another thing I want to give a shout out to IOEBA for is because I sold one of my oldies and there was a domestic type
issue.
ownership and they were trying to figure that out. And his background and all that stuff like that, just like, hey, you used to be a cop, and go ahead and let you know this, and the third. Like, oh my,
Yeah,
okay, cool,
yeah,
appreciate it.
yeah,
So
yeah,
they're there for so many things,
yeah,
not just for the show. That like they got that customer service, they got that family
yeah,
feel. Like the
yeah,
IOEBA, it's different than any registry I've ever been a part of,
yeah.
and it feels good. It feels real good. Like
Yeah.
you can tell I'm hype as hell right now.
I hope he's watching, man. I hope him and Cameron watching because, you know, I say these things to him, but you know, I mean, we've kind of become cool and stuff. But for him to hear it from the general public that, you know, people feel the difference, man, and you
Yeah,
know, like all of us. And this, I'm not just saying this because you my guy, man, but like all of us, everyone that I've spoken to, like you know, I didn't know that there was new ownership. I could just tell the shit was different, and then I
yeah,
found out that there was new ownership. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So that's how it came to me. But that's cool to hear. I hope they're watching it, man. I hope they can hear this as well, man.
Yeah, now we just need to
So,
do something in Kelly.
You hear
hey,
me?
so speaking of shows, like Dennis and I, we've been conversing about it and stuff like that, and even reached out to a couple people about where to do a show. Jessica, you asked for us to do it in Cali. I don't think we're gonna do. I mean, Colorado. I don't know if we're gonna do Colorado, man, because
Cali would be awesome, man.
with Colorado,
No, Cali. Cali would be
Cali would be dope. Is it like
Cali
so?
would be
Here's
awesome.
we like
Let's
we
do it.
throw one up. We gonna get West, y'all. We gonna do it. But like the thing is, we want to hit the central. We want to go central, so that way we can try to merge everybody into one spot.
Right.
Because
Now I'm gonna go. We're gonna go that way to go visit, right? And then we're
yeah,
gonna go
yeah,
over here in Cali. I'm in Cali. If I'm gonna throw a show, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. I'm California. If I'm gonna do a show, it's gonna be in California.
Where
That's
you
where
at? Where you at in California?
I'm in LA.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's as California as it gets.
Hey, you hear me?
Yeah,
But you know
yeah.
that's the meat and
So
gravy of it all, right there in
yeah.
Right.
LA, Riverside, San Bernardino.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey,
So
Tony, I live in the high desert, so I'm familiar with all those places,
Okay.
Riverside,
Yeah.
Hammond, all
Yeah.
those places. So
So are you like man, what's the little mountain thing? Was it the Cahoon Pass?
that's what
I'm
we're
over
talking
it.
about.
Yeah,
Okay,
bro.
I
Yeah.
know a little, I know a little
That's why
something,
you
bro.
get there, bro.
That's
See,
it.
I know a little something now.
Yeah, I didn't say
Yeah.
it because I don't know if anybody's gonna know that where it's at, but yeah,
Right,
that's
yeah.
where it
You gotta live there or be there for real, like to
was.
even know it,
Listen,
bro.
bro,
I hit
that
up
was
Dennis.
my
I'm like, you
first
going on the
when I
Cajon
moved to
Pass right now?
when I
Right?
moved to Cali. When I moved to Cali, that was when the shit really hit the fan. When I realized what was happening. It's a turn over there. Like when you come around this turn, all you can see is just lights. You know, I'm
Yep.
Yeah.
Ohio boy, man, little city. You know, Akron, Ohio, man. I seen all them lights, man. I said, what have I done, man?
Yeah.
You know, and that's how I
Yeah.
remember the Cahoon
So
Pass, man. But I had a
Yeah.
partner that stayed in Hesborough maybe.
Aspharia?
Hesperia.
Hesperia. There you
That's where
go.
That's where
Dennis
I'm at.
lives. That's where
Okay,
Dennis
okay,
Yeah.
lives.
yeah, bro. I
Yeah.
was in San Bernardino, man, but I was everywhere. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
was all
Yeah.
Yeah.
across Southern California, man, trying to be anyway. But that's why I'm telling you, I feel like Cali would be a huge show, bro, especially
It,
for
Yeah.
Bulldogs, man.
it would,
Yeah.
like
Definitely.
it
It would,
definitely be
man.
a big show. And
Yeah,
like Dennis, I'll be honest with you, like we want to throw do it in the West. You know, we the best in the West, my boy. So
man.
that
There
gives
you
us
go.
that still gives us everything from Colorado, Texas, everything.
Yeah, they coming, bro.
Hey, if y'all want to
Oklahoma.
26, hey, okay, see,
Yeah,
yeah. So it's a little short drive, but if you want to go from the west to the east to the west and hit that 26, 30 hours, then run
yeah,
with it. Like bring everything. Like, but guys, like we're doing everything that we discuss all these things of what we want to put together. We have a lot of things and avenues and things we want to put into this show. Like we've been to various shows, we've been to many shows of our lives. But I'm gonna let you guys know, and I'm like, you hear from Let Loose Dog Talk first. Oh, this is about to be a show of all shows, my boy. This is about to get hey, because I'm gonna let you know, hey, the trainers that train my dog, I'm gonna let y'all know Combat K not gonna be there. So we're gonna have a lot coming out. So once we figure out exactly where it's gonna be, but we have already talked to John and his wife that we want to be putting it on in April 2027, and it's already a go. So we just trying to figure out where exactly we're gonna do it. But y'all got our word; it's gonna be out there. So we want to start out that new year 2027 with something that's banging and hot.
He's on here too. He's on the
Yeah, I just seen his comment.
on the live.
Oh,
I just seen his comment. That's what's up.
I see it. And what Jessica talking about? 760.
She's in Colorado, but I think she's probably she's got some ties out here.
She wants me to call her after this podcast so we can talk about these breedings, like as far as like line breeding and all that jazz like that.
There you go.
I'm not gonna see this.
Mission accomplished. We gotta do a part 2. I don't know if you guys follow.
Let's go.
If you guys are catching them on the episodes, let me tell you. Hey man, it's been fun. This is good. I like where we're going. Shout out to everybody. I appreciate you guys.
Right on.
Yeah, facts.
No, for sure.
Look, gentlemen, we've hit our episode time. This has been really, really cool. Tony, man, there's still so much that we want to talk about. Like, this is a super vibe, man.
Right.
But again, I've told you this before. If it wasn't for you, man, my transport wouldn't have been what it was.
I think you still did okay, man. But I do appreciate the shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but you when I was on that road, man, what I had to do like to handle some stuff had to be done as far as the transport.
Yeah, it's all good, man.
You to give me them flowers, man. I tell you again, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it was all good, man. You know, it's just me, man. If I could be part of somebody's journey, man, you know, it don't cost me nothing off my back, man. You know, if I can help somebody have a better position in what they trying to accomplish, man, I'm all for it, man. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to believe you the same way, man. So, you know, shout out to you, man. I appreciate all the transports you did. I know I was probably an ass sometimes short.
Man, once you were, like you got mad at me. I'm like, bro, I can't go do that.
Yeah. You know, because you know, man, when you got to rebook a shipping, man, it's like, oh fuck, man, you know. So, you was always good to me, man.
You're like, man, don't do that. I was like, bro, I don't know if I can do it. I was like, I'm still waiting to hear from this dude, and I'm like, all I can do, man. It's like
you can only do what you can do, man. And so, like I said, though, man, you always gave me good numbers. Most importantly, my dogs always got where they was going in good health and in good condition, man. So, you know, I appreciate the shout out, but like I said, man, I'm sure you would have did just okay had I not, you know, tried to turn you up a little bit, man. Sure enough.
But you guys, we're getting to the end of that. But Tony, man, if you were up for a round 2 or 3, 4,
definitely,
absolutely, man. Let me know.
Yeah, for sure, man. Let's make it happen.
Just an episode, just to chop it up, man.
Hey, man, let me know, man. I enjoy doing these, man.
What I would like to do is some way, somehow, like, just hit a tour, like, so we can see like Mohan, some of your dogs, and let the world see, because we want to see some of them on yard first picks.
Let me know, man. I'm trying to do a little bit better about getting out there and having these kind of conversations. And honestly, man, I enjoyed the hell out of this, man. So let me know, man. Long as you give me 24-hour notice, man, I can do it any day of the week.
There you go. We're gonna have to get with them West Coasters so we can do it when our sun is up.
Yeah, just let me know, man.
Yeah, for sure, definitely.
Because they still got a little bit of their time. It's almost 11 to us. We about to go night. Feel me?
Dark. They
don't get it, bro. Like we start our day before y'all. They still get on there. Yeah, over now.
Now you were asleep. You were asleep.
But that boy don't make me have to call for it. But guys, for real, we appreciate all the love and everybody tuning in. I wish we could have got to everybody's the questions and stuff like that. But we're gonna try to figure something out so we can have everybody around a bit. But it's usually we got a guest on. We like to focus on that. And there's no disrespect to anyone, but it just makes it a little bit hard sometimes. But we will get to a point where we got a question and answers episode and things like that. But guys, until that next one,
definitely.
It's been real, man.
Thank you guys.
Let me know, man. Y'all have a great night.
All right, you too, Tony.
All right, fellas.